and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to Championship Saturday on the campus of University of Columbia in Washington, D.C. PD Doors, Craig Green here. Craig, what a matchup we have today.
Can't wait to see today's game. The defending champions, the Carolina Thunder, made the trip up from South Carolina right here to the district, and they're going to do their best to try to defend their championship here against the surging D.C. Heat. They've been the best team in ECBL all season long.
Carolina Thunder put a big win last week, picking up the win to play against the D.C. Heat, who they haven't seen all season this season.
Yeah, and the Carolina Thunder, again, just like you said, an impressive win last week as well, and as well as the D.C. Heat as well. Got their big win last week at almost Atlanta, excuse me. The big win in Rock Hill, South Carolina last weekend, and that's how they advanced to today's game. It's so excited for today's game, Pete. I just don't know what to say, to be honest with you. This is a game I've really been looking forward to. I mean, Carolina Thunder's record doesn't indicate how hard they've played and how much they've earned the right to come here and defend their championship. DC Heat have been the class of ECBL all season long, and today, something's got to give. One team's going to go home with the trophy. The other team's going to go home just a little disappointed.
Yeah, and, Craig, it's the DC Heat have a great facility here.
I love this place. It's air-conditioned. I mean, the floor looks fantastic. Amenities everywhere. Sight lines are beautiful. And, we're ready for great basketball, great atmosphere. Fans still filing in. Can't wait to see what we got today.
Yeah, you talked about the Carolina Thunder. They traveled up just like we did today. Long travel from Marion or Lotta, South Carolina. They got up here about 2.5 hours before the game, and we'll see if fatigue is going to play a factor with the Carolina Thunder today against the DC Heat, who just rolled out of bed and come in here and play.
Yeah, I mean, they're fresh out the car. I mean, but they're ready to go. They're fresh out, but they are ready to go. And, Sebastian Page, he knows what he's doing. Coming out of the locker room a little bit late, that's something that he typically will, do. It's kind of a strategy of his. It's what they do to get in their comfort zone. And when they're ready to go, they're ready to go.
All right, we're going to send it to the PA announcer.
Today, the DC are pleased to host the Carolina Thunder for the 2024 ECBL Championship. I'm DJ Sean Hunt, and I'm here to help you provide you with a great musical experience. Are y'all ready for today's action? Nah, come on. Are y'all ready for today's action? That's better. All right, at this time, if you can, please rise for the national anthem.
team's bench. To our left will be the Carolina Thunder. To our right, the DC Heat. And the red hot jerseys. Just like they wore last week against the Petersburg Cavaliers.
We ready?
Kyle Dixon. You know, Kyle Dixon had a great season.
It is with great pleasure that we welcome the Carolina Thunder today to our arena. And now for the starting lineup.
They did, and they
Number 3, Titus Gary III. Number 5, James Richardson. Number 10, Demetrius Knox. Number 11, Dion Berrien. Number 22, DJ Mason.
But to your point about the Petersburg Cavaliers having a great season, Petey, they did. Kyle Dixon's team fell just one game short of the goal, and that's why DC is here today, trying to take on the defending champions Carolina Thunder.
Everyone get on your feet and cheer as loud as you can for your DMV's very own DC Heat. At 6'5" from Herndon, VA, Miles Lewis.
That's one guy right there, Craig. We need to
At
keep an
6
eye on
foot
Miles Lewis.
from Leesburg,
Miles Lewis
Virginia,
is a dangerous
Mortimer
player
Burchie.
for the DC Heat. Averages 19
At
points
6'2"
a game.
from Woodbridge, VA,
6.6
Emery
rebounds as
Worley
well.
Jr. At 6 foot from Arlington, Virginia,
You can't take
your
nothing away from our
2023
MVP
Corey Moore.
for the DC Heat. And we all know who that is.
At
Mr. Corey
6'5" from
Corey
Dumfries,
Moore,
VA, your
31
team
points a
captain,
game, 7
Tariq
rebounds,
Felder.
4 assists a game. And he's going to look to build off of last
The
week's
team is
performance.
led by assistant coach Charles Aziana, assistant coach Eugene Watson, and led by your head coach, William McLaughlin. Let the games
The game
begin.
is ready to rock and roll. Craig, our final game of the season before the All-Star game, July 13th. Of the ECBO.
Can't wait for this one to tip off, and Dion Berrien is back for the Carolina Thunder. Good to see number 11 out there. Out there for Sebastian Page in the starting lineup, no less, so you know he's ready to go. He did not play last week in the championship game against...
Come out with a small front court there, Craig. You know, they got Titus Gary. Then you
Demetrius
have
Knox.
Demetrius Knox, and along with Dion Berrien. So Lewis will be jumping up against everyone in the ECBL and across the globe knows the big man down low, DJ Mason.
The 2023 ECBL MVP of the championship game. So can he build off of it? 28 points a game in the playoffs, Petey. 9 rebounds. DJ Mason again. This will be a pivotal part of this game for the Carolina Thunder if they're going to defend their championship and they're going to get the first stab on offense.
Thunder come out and face the Heat. Some team they haven't played much at any time this season as Dion Berrien puts up the first 3 and it falls right in the hands of Fielder. Fielder will slowly bring it up for the Heat. Attacking the middle, getting a whistle, and it goes with the Carolina Thunder will be inbounding.
Felder dribbled it right off of his knee.
Demetrius Knox going inside to DJ Mason on that mismatch. Pull it back out, whip it around the perimeter. Demetrius Knox misses his first opportunity.
Got a good look, too, just couldn't knock it down. It's going to be imperative for the Thunder to get good looks at the basket and not let guys like Miles Lewis get comfortable.
Miles Lewis gets the first bucket, minute away in the first.
And another miss this time by Dion Berrien, and then Tariq Felder gets the rebound.
Felder to Moore. Moore for 3. No. DJ Moore, what we talked about, Craig, you know, for the offense, for the Carolina Thunder, he needs to be crashing the boards as Titus Gary's shots off the mark, and no one down low but the Red.
Good look, too, again, by the Thunder. Just couldn't knock the shot down. As here's a three. Emory Worley Jr. knocks down a tray, and 5-0 early on.
Dion Berrien, 15-footer is good for the Thunder.
Welcome back, Dion Berrien.
Felder drops it off to Worley. Worley for three, no. Carolina Thunder pushing it up. Berrien. Titus Gary from the three, no, and the Heat pulling down all the rebounds as DJ Mason's the only height for the Carolina Thunder.
And it's going to be imperative for DJ Mason to be able to crash the boards and also maybe stretch Tariq Felder away from the basket. Allow some of his smaller players to penetrate, as that's 2 buckets for James Richardson.
Richardson with 4 points. The Thunder trail the Heat by 3. Birchie driving on Knox, gets the avenue and the layup. Back to a 5-point advantage. Demetrius Knox looking for help. Goes inside to DJ Mason on a mismatch. DJ put the body down, and we got a jump ball.
Getting tied up early on. This is an interesting matchup. Corey Moore and DJ Mason on the jump.
Mason.
Oh, couldn't handle it. Richardson.
Right off of Richardson's fingertips.
And already you can hear the chatter between both teams.
Birchie stabbed out by Demetrius Knox. Here come the Thunder in transition. Richardson, 8-footer, flushes home.
Richardson off to a good start here. Got all 6 of Carolina's points. And I mean, he's an interesting X factor for the Carolina Thunder, a very athletic guy.
Felder for 3, no one down low but Richardson to rebound it for the Thunder. Knox. Over to Berrien. Berrien looking backdoor to Richardson, and Richardson trying to get a call on Moore, but Richardson falling to the floor. Couldn't get a call. Sebastian Page and his coaching staff looking for a call. She will bring it up, facing Knox. Moore looked like he wanted to screen. Moore for 3. Got the green light, and it's about time for Moore to nail his first 3. And that's, like we said, the MVP. Loves to shoot from the perimeter.
Don't want to get him started early.
DJ Mason battling down low with an and one on Tariq Felder.
And Felder gets the first foul for the DC Heat. And I went back and I was looking at, DC Heat have lost 1 game on the court all season long. And I went back to see how that happened, PD. And what happened was, in that game, they got into foul trouble early on. If the Thunder can do the exact same thing and win and crash the offensive boards, they had about 3 or 4 more offensive boards than the Heat did. And they got the Heat in foul trouble. They drew only half the fouls. It was 27-13 in terms of the fouls.
Felder drives and goes right up with DJ Mason and picks up the 2 points.
He got the 2 right back that Mason got on the offensive end.
DJ Mason spinning on Lewis, going up. Couldn't get a foul, and here come the Heat. Birchie's shots blocked by Richardson.
Back on the other end, Petey. Good defense by the DC Heat. They had Lewis and Felder harassing DJ Mason. And then Richardson with a good defense on this side for the Thunder.
Felder, nice spin on DJ Mason and picks up 2.
So Felder making his presence felt so far on the inside as well, 6 points. He can do it a variety of ways, just like Richardson, just like Mason.
Richardson picks up his dribble, back out to Knox. Knox goes around the screen by DJ Mason. Spins, back out, DJ Mason for three. Short. No one to collect the air ball, so we'll go with the Heat.
Good look, just couldn't knock it down. You know, got to wonder also if we get in the gym a little bit late, some of the sidelines might be a little different from the Thunder. But we'll see if they can grow into this game, keep it interesting. Got Daniel Quarles coming to the scorer's table.
Felder. Drive and Euro step, it picks up two.
Nice move by the big man. And 8 points early on in the first 5.5 minutes.
We got a 10-point lead, Heat. Berrien, double teamed. Over to Richardson. Richardson drives and puts up the shot. Moore fight for the rebound over Mason. Pushing in front court. Birchie all alone for three. No. Felder with the head fake and a turnover.
Good job by Titus Gary to get his hands in there.
Demetrius Knox at the logo, left side to Berrien. Berrien putting the body down. Puts up the shot over Feder.
He took Felder right to the bucket. Challenged the big. No problem. Here's a turnover. Here comes Carolina one more time.
Titus Gary with the green light and an air ball. Worley.
Their long-range shots aren't really falling. They don't look too good so far coming off their hands.
Worley on Titus Gary on Worley. 11 on the shot clock. Birchie was backdoor. Pass wasn't there. 5 on the shot clock. Spinning, and Titus Gary with some great defense for the Thunder.
Stuck his hand in there, just took it right away from Felder.
Taking a Snickers bar off of the counter at a gas station. Demetrius Knox still continues to struggle from the perimeter for the Thunder. You can see Titus Gary with his hands on his hip, and Worley with his second three.
No one stopping the ball whatsoever. Emory Worley just walked right up to the three-point line, got comfortable, and knocked it down.
11-point lead for the Heat, biggest lead today. Richardson stops on the baseline, pulls up, couldn't connect. Mason fighting down low, and it stays right with the Carolina Thunder. Patrell Rogers and Quarles checks in. Richardson and Berrien will appear to be coming out, but we got a timeout. We're going to take it with him. You're listening to the ECBL Championship, streaming on the ECBL Hoop page, also on highlevelmedianc.com.
Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health. So we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Welcome back. 4:37 left in the first quarter. The DC Heat with 11-point lead over the Southern Conference champions, the Carolina Thunder, out of Lotta, South Carolina. PD Doors, Craig Green here inside University of Columbia in Washington, D.C. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on High Level Media. Also on the ECBL YouTube page is Patrell Rogers. Will look to go take the Heat on a self 15-footer. Falls short. Check it in for the Heat the first time. It's Haskins.
We didn't see Haskins play too much in the Northern Conference title game against the Cavaliers. Could be an X factor for the DC Heat, somebody that the Carolina Thunder hadn't seen too much.
Worley Moore missed the three, and the Thunder missed also, so Birchie will fight with the rebound with numbers and Lewis for two.
Nicely executed by the DC Heat. In transition, had 3-on-1. Not a whole lot that the Thunder defender could do about it because he was by himself.
Patrell Rogers Over to Knox. Knox driving on Birchie. Euro step in the paint. Left it on the front of the rim. Quarles with a rebound and reset the offense. 3 for King. Could connect. Thunder with another chance. King will drive. Puts up the shot. Looking for the foul. Couldn't get a foul. Haskins with the rebound. And we got a travel by Haskins.
Good defense by Daniel Quarles. Oh yeah, you know this is for the chip today, and it's going to get a little chippy. So you're going to see players, you're going to see emotions run high. You're going to see, you know, players on edge. I mean, every possession matters right now. The Thunder are off to not a pretty slow start here, just 10 points in this first quarter. So you know they want to, they want to get a little, they want to get right and get back into this game. 23-10 is not where they thought they'd be early on.
Demetrius Knox driving, head fakes it and pulls up, and first bucket for the Thunder in the last 2.5 minutes. 23-12.
They needed it badly. They've been struggling right now.
Lewis travels an offensive board. As you can see, Demetrius Knox grabbing his hand. Looks like to have a finger jam. 11-point lead. We've seen the Carolina Thunder overcome deficits like this all season, so wouldn't quite count the Thunder out as Demetrius Knox drives and gets 2.
Yeah, these guys are tough. They are gritty, and there's a turnover, and then gives it right back again.
9-point lead. Haskins pulls it all the way back out. 11 on the shot clock, pulls up for 3, and right in the face of Quarles.
Knocked it down, did Haskins. Wide open. Unafraid to shoot it, just lets it go.
Back to a 12-point lead. Nice crowd piling in here at the University of Columbia for the ECBL championship. Demetrius Knox leads the way for the Thunder. Berrien with 11.
Here comes Elijah Willis for the DC Heat. He's going to replace Emery Worley. Khalil Jabby also out there for DC as well, to go along with Corey Moore and Marco Haskins.
Quarles with a long rebound to King in the corner. King inside, putting a body on his man, and Williams couldn't connect. And that's Leroy Williams fighting for it. Here come the DC Heat. Jabby taking it straight to the hole with the green light, and nothing stopping Jabby with that one.
A little slow to get over to defend. Jabby found the hole. He found a little sliver, a little crack in the defense, and was able to score. And now the Heat have officially doubled up the Thunder here in the first quarter.
Felder leads the way for the Heat with 8 points. Jabby's free throw. It's going to make it 29-14. 1:30 left in the first quarter. Williams in trouble, double team with 11 on the shot clock. He'll throw it back out. Thanks for King being right there. And he's trying to go to Quarles, and Quarles like, just take it up if you're that close.
Little discombobulation, a little miscommunication by the Thunder here. They're off to a slow start, a sluggish start. And you know, Will McLaughlin likes that. As the Heat, so far, impressive in this first quarter. Giving these home fans something to cheer about, PD. Got a good amount of folks here ready to see this game today.
DC Heat's first year in the ECBL is Jabby for 3. We've got it. It's fired up. 32-14. Biggest lead tonight for the #1 team in the ECBL, 17. Jabby with a 3 and a turnover. Haskins pulls up from 3 with the green light, no, and chasing down the rebound was Jarvis Williams. You know, Craig, you do not want to get used to just doing that, pulling up, you know, with a comfortable lead like this. it's not something that you want to do because you can let Carolina Thunder right back into it.
The Heat are playing with confidence right now, so you know Coach McLaughlin's going to kind of let them play loose and confident, let it fly. As you can see, the jump shots for the perimeter shooting for the Carolina Thunder has been way off in this first quarter, which is why they're down big right now.
Corey Moore, the 6-foot point guard, pulled down the rebound on the defensive side. Moore for long range. No, and King volleying it, and King. And, they called a foul on Haskins.
Yeah, I didn't see what Marco Haskins did there, but the referee did, so he will get the foul call. I believe it was a little push from behind.
32-14 first quarter, 16 seconds left. Shot clock is turned off.
Rogers has to go.
Rogers to Williams. Williams driving, mid-range, rattles home at the buzzer. At the end of one, 16-point lead for the Northern Conference champions, the DC Heat. 32-16 will return with quarter number 2. You're listening to ECBL Championship on ECBL Hoops.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health, so we always keep you well-informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks, including Fox, ABC.
Welcome back to DC Heat. We'll take the ball up with a 16-point lead in quarter number 2. PD Norris, Craig Green here. Jabby. 15-footer, too hard. And the Thunder pulling down the rebound. Patrell Rogers looking for some offense for the Thunder. Leaner at the bucket, and it's good. 32-18. Felder. Driving baseline, spinning on Williams, kicks it. 3 for Worley, no. Williams with the rebound for the Thunder. Williams in trouble on the baseline, throws it inside, into trouble. Nice take by Patrell Rogers, and he's fouled. (32-18). Patrell Rogers will shoot. 1 point, 1 bucket. Rogers makes the first, 32-19. Rattles out the second, Felder with the rebound. Calls off the offense. Haskins almost turns it over. The Thunder taking it itself, going up, and that's Williams with the miss. King searching, stepping into it, Patrell Rogers. Rogers guarded tightly by Jabby, pulls up for the mid-range. Shooters roll, no, nothing, no one underneath but the Heat for the rebound. Jabby trying to jab on Patrell Rogers and Felder to the corner. Elijah Willis looked like he wanted to take that three. Felder drive in, fall to the floor and pick it up two. First bucket for the Heat this quarter. King for three, nothing but nylon. 34-22, 12-point lead. Felder to Willis. Willis for three. He's got the green light. You got the green light if you can make it like that. 37-22. Heat lead by 15. Rogers over to Williams. Williams to King. King for a second three, and he's fouled and one. That's one thing you don't want to do is contest a three by playing late defense. 18-point lead. Dwindled down to just 12. (37-26). Carolina Thunder. Three for the Heat. 40-26. Here come the Heat, Jabby. Jabby spins, kicks it to Willis. Willis for three. No. As a crowd is on their feet here inside the District of Columbia Gymnasium, home of the Firebirds. But Williams looks to quiet a crowd with a long two. 40-28.
Nice smooth jump shot by Leroy Williams.
Haskins.
All right, having some technical difficulties right now, trying to get that ironed out for you. Right now, Felder gives it up to Worley. Worley against Mason. Worley to the basket. Worley scores against DJ Mason. It's now 42-31 for the DC Heat. Now here's Demetrius Knox against Felder. Can't knock it down. Rebound comes out to the Heat. Felder all alone, lays it home, and it is a 13-point lead for the DC Heat. 44-31 with 7:18 to go. Titus Gary against Felder. Gary to the basket. No, Felder gets the rebound. Now Felder bringing it back up court. Felder against Knox, 10 versus 10. And rolls around. The foul will go against Knox. And he will go, and Felder will go to the line. Tariq Felder. Again, the foul on Demetrius Knox. And that is his first foul, and that free throw for Felder is good. (45-31) is the current score. And Felder gets the second free throw to fall. Make it 46-31. Knox gives it up to Richardson. James Richardson against Felder. Richardson double teamed inside the Quarles. Quarles, mid-range jump shot, in and out. All right, correction, that was actually Leroy Williams. Emery Worley from long range. Mason with the rebound. And now Knox for the Carolina Thunder, looking to defend their ECBL championship. Titus Gary for three, in and out. And the athleticism of Leroy Williams couldn't save the basketball. It will be DC Heat ball. And here comes the DC Heat. And Mortimer Birchie coming across. Worley got his shot blocked by Gary. And now the outlet, Knox avoiding a defender and fouled on his way down. And that foul will, the block was called, and now free throws, a correction, it will be a side out. Corey Moore. And looks like a timeout will be called. The Heat are over the limit right now.
14-point lead for the Northern champions, the DC Heat. We're going to stay right here, Craig. First quarter, biggest lead for the Heat in the first quarter was 17. At the end of the first, they led 32-14. Here in the second quarter, the sleeping Thunder have come awake.
They've made this a game now. Again, they've outscored the DC Heat here in the second quarter, 16-14. So things are looking up. 14's not where they thought they would be right now, but it's a lot better than where they were at the end of the first quarter.
As Titus Gary will be shooting his second free throw. Leading away for the Thunder is Richardson. Titus Gary with just 3 points. Misses the second free throw. You break the press, lob it into Lewis. Lewis falling out of bounds, tries to save it to Nicholson. And Nicholson battling down low, and that's the matchup we talked about, Craig. DJ Mason and Nicholson.
Yeah, we did. We've talked about that one, seeing if Mason can force Nicholson outside to stretch the floor. But, you know, he's going to camp out down low. That's his spot. And he had to mismatch with Knox on him, but another turnover by the Heat.
Titus Gary and DJ Mason with the rebound and a putback. 46-34.
And Mason, a little ginger getting up. Looks like he's going to walk it off. I think he might have either slipped on the floor or stepped on someone's foot coming down. But Mason finishes.
The Thunder outscored the Heat here in the second quarter, 20-14. They trail by 12. Quarter number 2, 5:17 left. Birchie will get it inbound. Double team, but sprints in the front court. Kicks it to the corner. 3 on the way. Rattles out. Nicholson with a big rebound over Mason and a putback.
Given second chances, and they're going to make it right there. Kelvin Nicholson up against DJ Mason underneath. I think Mason's still a little slow after hitting the deck the last time, as James Richardson gets to the bucket.
Carolina Thunder fighting back slowly. Deficit's 12.
Foul on Knox, trying to strip Moore going up to the basket.
That's Knox's second. Moore will shoot 2. Moore makes the first. The Heat extend their lead to 13. League's regular season MVP makes it 2, gets the half a century. 50-36.
Corey Moore is an 80% free throw shooter, so, you know, not automatic, but pretty confident he's going to go to the line, knock down 2 of 2.
Williams, the feed from Titus Gary, and Titus Gary picks up assist number 3, and the Heat trail by 12.
Thunder need every bucket they can, but they've also got to come down here, string together some stops so they're going to get back into this game. Nice give and go for Emory Worley Jr. to score. And Worley up to 10 points already.
Back to a 14-point lead. Knox with 3:57, holds with 12, goes to the corner. Titus Gary drives, baseline, kicks it, but he's fouled. He'll shoot 2. Since the timeout, each team's put up 6 points. Carolina Thunder still edges the Heat in the second quarter, but trail by 14. Titus Gary continues to struggle with just 3 points tonight in the first half. Worley with 10 for the Heat, leading the way. Richardson still leads the way for the Thunder as Titus Gary misses both free throws. Birchie looking inside, no one looking at him. Goes to Moore, Moore to the corner, and a turnover. Oh, they say it was off of the Thunder. So stay right with the Heat.
They had a referee down there in position. Yeah, it looked like they may have got a break from our vantage point, but looks like the officials had a better shot of it than we did. Just 10 on the shot clock for DC.
Felder drive, putting a body on Williams and puts up the leaner that falls.
Had enough English to get that thing to roll in, Petey.
16-point lead. They led early in the second quarter by 18, 37.
It's been the Tariq Felder show. He's up to 16 points in this first half. The lead is 16, and his 16 of that goes to number 10 for the Heat.
54-38, 3 minutes left. And Birchie. So Jerome King will check in for Titus Gary as he continues to struggle with just 3 points here in the first half. DC Heat first year in the ECBL.
What an impressive first year, Petey. Literally just one loss on the basketball court all season long, and we were on hand to call it.
The Winston-Salem Wolves game is Lewis spinning and collapsing on defense. Great defense by Leroy Williams. 5 on the shot clock. Jabby pulls up, brushes the iron right in the hands of Patrell Rogers. Rogers quarterback in the play for the Thunder. Pulls up, brushes the iron, falls through the hands of Williams, and the Heat push it in the front court with numbers. 3-on-2 to the corner for Moore. No. And
I think Richardson got a piece of that one.
Richardson stops from the right elbow. Buckets. Thunder cut it within 14.
Tell you what, James Richardson, high energy guy, and foul on the perimeter by Patrell Rogers. He was grabbing the jersey before he got a chance to, before Jabby got a chance to go to the basket. But Richardson, believe he got a piece of Moore's jump shot, then hurried down the floor and went down and contributed and scored on offense.
20 on the shot clock, 1:55 on the game clock. Jabby. Inside to Felder, and Felder to the floor, looking for some help. from a teammate as he hit it to the line to shoot one.
Tariq Felder has been in his bag in this first half. I mean, he is just out here dominating right now. 18 points in the first half for Felder. You know, we talked about Corey Moore and the role he was going to play, being our impact player, but Tariq Felder is putting on a show here.
Felder makes back to a 17-point lead. Williams driving on Felder. 8-footer, you can count it for the Thunder.
They need more of that, but they've also got to get some stops defensively. Now they're trying to press and make things tough on the Heat. And that pass deflected by Jarvis Williams, who has entered the game for the Carolina Thunder.
DC Heat, Felder. With the green light, straight to the bucket, hits the floor, and pick it up 2. 5 straight points for Felder.
21 in the first half.
Leads away for the DC Heat, Patrell Rogers. Correction, as Knox. Jabby to King. Lays it up for the Thunder.
Good defense by Carolina. They created a second chance, didn't even get the offensive board as Felder camping out, gets another one, beat everybody down the floor. He's up to 23. What a first half for number 10.
Thunder searching for the perimeter game. Still have yet to find.
One thing we may have to keep our eye on here now too, PD, Corey Moore just picked up his 3rd foul. All of them here in the 3rd quarter, so that's another key ingredient for the DC Heat, because remember, against the Winston-Salem Wolves, the Heat got in foul trouble. They got out-rebounded on the offensive glass, and Corey Moore fouled out. He's got 5 points and 3 fouls right now.
King makes the first. (61-46). Birchie bounce passes it to Haskins. 36 on the clock. Haskins off the left elbow. Williams with the rebound. Leroy Williams pulls down his 4th rebound in the first half. King from the right side. Heat with the rebound.
Got to stop the ball if you're the Thunder here.
They'll pull it down with just 17. Looking for the last shot of the half as Birchie holds it behind his back at midcourt.
Good first half for the DC Heat, but better second quarter for the Thunder.
Birchie, reverse layups blocked by Leroy Williams. 2 on the clock. Williams, top of the key 3, no. And that takes us to halftime, 61-46. At the break, we'll return with stats, facts, and figures in the first half after a word from our sponsors.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health. So we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit Back and Relax Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity call, fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals at Sit Back and Relax take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get started.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks including Fox, ABC, MyTV, CBS, NBC, Univision, Azteca, and CW.
One in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom.
DC Heat shooting 51% in the first half, lead the Carolina Thunder, who's struggling, shooting 35%. PD Norris, Craig Green here inside the University and District of Columbia for your 2024 ECBL Championship. Craig, DC Heat is shooting how they've been shooting all season so far.
They're doing a good job from the field, 24 of 47. They're right there at 50%. Meanwhile, the Carolina Thunder are reeling right now, PD, 19 of 53 from the field, and that is exactly why they are trailing, just shooting under 30%. And that's the biggest reason why they're getting beat. Also add to the fact they're getting crushed on the boards, and that was my key factor of this game, was could the Thunder, the leading rebounding team in ECBL, could they find a way to out-rebound the Heat, create second and third chances? Right now, they're not doing it, and the proof is in the pudding on the scoreboard. Also, got to do a much better job against number 10. Tariq Felder is having a day.
Richardson leads the way for the Thunder with 13 points. King follows with 11. Then we have Williams, Leroy Williams with 8. Demetrius Knox with 4. Dion Marion with 2. DJ Mason with just 4. Mason with 4 rebounds, 3 defensive and 1 offensive board for the Southern Conference champion, the Carolina Thunder. Taking a look at the stats for your Northern champions. Like you said, 21 points for Tariq Felder, followed by Worley with just 10. That's 2 players, you know, in double digits for the DC Heat. But, you know, everyone on the DC Heat that has played has picked up a bucket.
They're getting it done from all different angles. I mean, you know, Tariq Felder, 9 of 10. But everybody, just like you said, who has played, especially, you know, a little bit of a surprise there, bringing in Marco Haskins, somebody we didn't see last week. And even Marco Haskins came in, knocked down a bucket. But everybody's getting it done. Everybody's also crashing the boards. They're doing a good job right now of taking the Thunder out of their game.
And we got 7 minutes and 5 seconds until the start of the second half. We're going to take one quick break and come right back here and give our thoughts on what the Thunder have to do if they're going to spoil the DC Heat's inaugural season in the ECBL.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health. So we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today at 919-589-5001. That's 919-589-5001. Or visit them online at cardinalfamilydentistry.com.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the University of District of Columbia. PD Norris, Craig Green here. We have a special guest, the ECBL Commissioner, Chris Thomas. Chris, welcome aboard. Got a few questions for you, Chris. You know, for the ECBL holding the championship up here in DC, nice facility here. What does it mean for the ECBL to have the inaugural season for the DC Heat to be hosting the championship?
Well, I mean, it says a lot for the DC Heat. You know, they came down from the Mid-Atlantic last year. They had a good season last year. And then this year, you know, coming down to the ECBL South this year, they've had a really good year this year. They really lost the one game on the floor, you know, this year to Winston-Salem. And, I mean, this is a great crowd they have up here today. They're doing a great job here today. And right now at halftime, you know, they're looking pretty good right now with a half left to go.
And, you know, again, we talk about the atmosphere we have here. What does this say to you about the East Coast Basketball League? The size of the crowd we got here today, and the interest. DC's done a good job here, bringing the community in and making themselves visible and present. Is that kind of what you're looking for all the franchises?
Yes, it definitely is. I mean, they've done an excellent job today. I mean, is better than expected for sure. I mean, normally we'll go to some, championship games. We've had, good crowds, but this is probably one of the best crowds we've had at a championship game. I mean, they're all in. The fans are up here for sure. So the Thunder's not playing just the DC Heat. They're playing against, 125, 150 people in here too, that are rooting all against them.
All right, Chris, we got one more game this season that will be live streamed. That's the All-Star game, not necessarily, a game, I'd say. But, what is looking forward in the future for the ECBL going into next season? I noticed you guys on your social media page, you guys are looking for new applicants, for next season.
Yeah, I mean, from now until July 31st, we'll take applications for next season. And I've already been getting, I've talked to a couple people. I've sent some out. And, over this next month and a half, we'll find some teams that, we think might be a good fit for us. And we'll invite them to come to our league meeting in August and let them make a presentation and see how it falls and see if, we can get some other teams in there. And, we're going to review a couple teams too. We might have a couple teams not coming back next year. But the biggest thing is to make sure the quality of our organizations, we're wanting to take a step forward, is what we're trying to do. So the biggest thing is I want as many teams as we can get in our league, but the biggest thing is I'm wanting as much quality as I can possibly get. And, the quantity doesn't matter to me anymore. It's more about let's making sure that we're all on the same page, making sure we're trying to do the same thing, and that's host a professional basketball game each and every week.
Now, when it comes to the games that we put on, we've seen some great games of the week, week after week after week, from Garden City Magic against Kingdom Life to Winston-Salem against the DC Heat to Hickory against the Charlotte Tribe. We've seen plenty of quality basketball. For the casual fan out there who may not know about the East Coast Basketball League, what should they know about ECBL basketball and the style of play that this league represents?
I mean, our league is, we're a minor league organization, basically. I mean, our players pretty much don't get paid in our league, but our players are guys that play overseas. When they get home, they play. Guys out of college that are getting ready to go overseas that play, and then guys that haven't been overseas that are trying to get there. And then, you have a bunch of former college stars that decided not to go overseas and play. I mean, it's a high level of basketball. It's not where you think you're just going to come out and see some rec guys play this and that. I mean, every single team is filled with stars on their teams. I mean, with guys that's had careers overseas. I mean, we've had NBA guys in the league, G League guys in the league. I mean, D1 players in the league. I mean, we've had tons of really good, talented players in our league, and that's what, our platform is for, is to, to try to showcase these players, showcase our organizations and our owners, and, give these players that are just trying to start play, a platform or a springboard to try to go to the next level, to go play overseas or something like that. And that's what, that's what every team's goal should be.
All right, Chris, I really appreciate you having us on this season. Me and Craig's covered all, 13, 14 games for you this season. We look forward to partnership on the future. As long as there's games, hopefully we can bring you guys the coverage.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys this year. And like I said, I'll see you again in 2 weeks at the All-Star game. And I mean, that should be pretty fun. It's always a pretty fun game. It might be 200 to 200, but
Those All-Star games, there ain't much defense.
Do you have an early pick for the three-point contest?
Chris Moore. Come on. Chris Moore.
Okay.
Yeah. And we got the NBA three-point line in there now, too, so definitely Chris Moore.
Hey, can we get a coach's three-point contest? I would like to see that.
I don't think there'll be any games if we did that.
We'll see the granny shot then.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all right.
I'd be in on that.
Hey, me too.
All right, Chris, thank you very much for stopping by, and we look forward to partnership in the future with the ECBL.
All right, guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, quarter number 3 is about to get started, 61-46. The DC Heat leads the Carolina Thunder Welcome back after an interview. 63-48, the Carolina Thunder pick up 2, along with the DC Heat in quarter number 3. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on the ECBL Hoops page, also on High Level Media NC. 63 for the DC Heat, picking up the foul. Was DJ Mason. Missed an opportunity. Lewis from the line. Miles Lewis with just 4 points. Make it 5. Still facing technical difficulties here with the internet issue. Trying to get at switching over internet right now. 66-48. Should be back on momentarily, making it 50, 66-50. It's a problem with live streaming in gymnasiums without the proper internet from the facility. 66-50. Quarter number 3, 10-16 left. Williams in the paint. Felder with a rebound. Here come the DC Heat. With a 16-point lead, and Richardson steals it right from Moore, and Felder back with the steal, and ball's going to stay right with the Thunder. $16-point lead, quarter number 3. ECBL championship. 9:58 left. Patrell Rogers looked to come into play. Comes into Richardson. Richardson, 8-footer off the baseline, and you can count it for the Thunder. 66-52. Patrell Rogers picks up Felder at the timeline. Felder. And we have a whistle. And on the foul, on Patrell Rogers. That's his second. Birchie. With a 14-point lead, 10 on the shot clock. Drives right into paint. Kicks it. Felder. Worley. To the corner for Moore for 3. In and out. DJ Mason pulls down his 5th rebound. Knox. Patrell Rogers on the left wing. Rogers shaking and baking on Felder. Loses control, but stays right with it. Backs his man all the way down the left side. The Thunder fighting back. 66-54. Patrell Rogers for 3, no, and with a putback, Williams forces the Heat to call a timeout, down by 10 in the ECBL championship. Looking to get it within single digits on the next play, Craig. The Thunder come out here in the third quarter. I know you're dealing with the internet issue, but fighting back, and this is exactly what the Thunder's done all season.
Sebastian Page, that's what he knows, what buttons to push with his team to get them to perform, and that's what's happening right now. A 10-point lead. It was 16 in the first quarter. It didn't look good after the second. 10 points feels doable for this Carolina Thunder team, and again, the recipe for them is rebound the basketball and get the Heat in foul trouble and limit DC's chances offensively. If they can do that, they're gonna like what they have a chance to do in the fourth quarter.
The Thunder outscored the DC Heat 10-5 here in the third quarter. It's a 10-point lead. DC Heat will have the ball coming out of the timeout called by the Heat. .8:39, third quarter.
See what kind of pressure the Carolina Thunder may try to dial up here defensively, where they just sit back. Looks like they're going to sit back in the half court and just defend.
17 points for James Richardson and the Thunder. They trail by 10. Lewis right side to Worley for three, no. And Leroy Williams pulls down the rebound. Knox to Rogers. Looking to get within single digits. Richardson for the baseline. Worley with the rebound for...
I'll tell you what, James Richardson, you know, Corey Moore defending James Richardson, that's a tough matchup. There's a foul on Patrell Rogers holding Corey Moore. Just grabbed him around the waist.
Looking to slow down Moore. Moore beat him off the dribble.
But Corey Moore defensively, you know, we talked about that against Winston-Salem. What can he do for his team? I think him, you know, against James Richardson's very interesting matchup as
Moore.
Corey Moore wins that time.
Moore with from three. Back to a 13-point lead. 69-56. Patrell Rogers, baseline untouched for two.
Nice move by Rogers, too. Fleet of foot, saw he had the opening, was able to go post baseline and finish.
Nice cut back door to Lewis. Lewis pulls it back out. Richardson had a steal and turns it back over. Fighting and Knox come out with it. With numbers, Richardson drops it off to Williams, and Williams misses the easy bunny.
DC has numbers.
Birchie going up, Mason
Whoa.
shoves it right in his face.
Wow, what a play by Demetrius Knox. He got back defensively and upset the apple cart. What a play by Knox on Birchie.
Birchie looking at the official as the ball was in his lap as he hit the floor. That was a turnover for the Heat. 69-58. Patrell Rogers inside, back out. Knox. 17-footer, count it.
Heck of a ball fake by Demetrius Knox as well.
Inside of 10, Birchie driving.
In and out. Unlucky.
Knox looking to get it within 7. Knox, three-pointer on the way.
Ooh. Smooth as silk for Demetrius Knox, 5'7", 175. Playing like he's 6'9", 280 out here.
Thunder looking.
An offensive foul call. Another turnover. Demetrius Knox feeling it.
Looking to carry the hardware back to South Carolina where it belongs, as we saw the Carolina Thunder earlier this week. All their fans are saying, bring the hardware back home where it belongs.
They've got an opportunity to do it, PD. About 18 minutes or so left in this game, a quarter and a half to go.
DJ Mason back out. Nice backdoor. Leroy Williams clapping his hand as he pick up the 2 points. 4-point lead, DC Heat. Don't go anywhere if you guys are just tuning in. At halftime, there's a 15-point lead. It's down to 4. Moore over to Worley.
Swarming defense by the Thunder.
Thunder with momentum here in the quarter number 3. Worley for 3. Off the mark. DJ Mason with the rebound. 6th rebound tonight for DJ Mason. Demetrius Knox looking inside to Leroy Williams. Williams putting the body down and travels.
He left his feet. Critical mistake by Leroy Williams. Turns it over. This could have been a one-possession game. Looks like Titus Gary III maybe going to come back in after a timeout.
We're at a timeout. 5:27 left. The Heat lead the Thunder by 4, 69-64.
Pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my.
A 19-8 run in the third quarter. The DC Heat lead by 4, 69-65. PD Doors, Craig Green here inside the University of Columbia in Washington, D.C. Craig, this is the way the Thunder can take the hardware back home. Come out, they're lighting it up from all over. They're with the momentum. D.C. Heat lost all the momentum at halftime.
Commitment to defense, crashing the boards, and getting the Thunder and trying to keep the Heat in foul trouble. Also taking and making some smarter shots. That's why we're sitting at a 2-possession game.
Birchie for 3 with a green light.
3 possessions.
72-65.
What an answer, too, by the D.C. Heat. Mortimer Birchie comes out of the timeout and puts 3 on the board for D.C. I mean, before the timeout, Pete, we saw some of the Heat players looking at the bench, looking for answers. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to call a timeout. We're going to call a play. What are we going to do?
Richardson short. Moore with the rebound. It hits DJ Mason. And DJ picks up the foul for the Thunder. DJ Mason with 2 fouls.
Not a big impact on this game, DJ Mason. Maybe more of an impact, you know, because of the fact he only has 4 points in this contest.
Moore looking to drive on Mason, get him in foul trouble. Stop for 15, rattles home.
2 straight baskets by the DC Heat. You know, this was a 4-point game. Now they've ballooned it back up to 9. Thunder need an answer. They need it now.
Knox to Williams. Williams throws up the layup. Fighting for it and coming out with it. DJ Mason hauls it down and turns it over. Moore with numbers, tries.
Wow.
He tried to put Richardson on the next poster. Richardson said, no, not that easy.
You know, I think Moore was more or less looking to draw a foul. And I don't want to disrespect his athleticism, but I don't think he had the lift to dunk the basketball. He knew what he was doing. But Richardson, I must say this also. I thought James Richardson got a clean block. It looked like he, you know, may have called the body on the foul there, but you know, in terms of the basketball, touching the basketball, he got all ball.
Moore extends the lead to 10. 75-65. 5-0 run for the Heat here in the third quarter, 4:19 left. Leroy Williams pulls down the rebound. Knox. We're going to take Birchie off the dribble. Drive in. It doesn't fall. And it had a nice look. Lewis taking it to the cup itself.
In transition, the DC Heat, Miles Lewis was able to finish at the rim. Timeout called.
Forcing the Thunder call a timeout. 7-0 run. The Thunder needs a timeout right now to take the momentum out of the DC Heat.
8 straight points for DC, and that's got the Thunder kind of looking for some answers. But what they need to do here is just come out with their best play they have coming out of the timeout. Find something that's going to get their players in a good spot to knock down a basket. Then you got to come back down defensively and not let the DC Heat get to the bucket. Make them take long-range jump shots. Make them take things that excuse me, make them take shots that they don't have as high of a percentage of chance of making.
Carolina Thunder outscoring the DC Heat in the third quarter, 21-16. They trail by 12, 77-65, with just 15:53 left of action.
If they're going to do it, they've got to start now. I mean, there's plenty of time for the Thunder to knock down this 12-point lead. You know, we talk about leads in the ECBL not being insurmountable. 12 points is not doomsday whatsoever. But, you know, this unit on the floor for the Carolina Thunder, Williams, Rogers, King, Knox, and Gary are going to have to come out here and find a groove and make sure they can try to stop DC on offense as well.
For the DC Heat, they come out with Moore, Birchie, Worley, Haskins, and Lewis. And
Forgot all about Leroy Williams underneath.
10-point lead, 67 for the Thunder, 77 for the Heat.
Perfect play out of the timeout by Sebastian Page. What you want when you come out of the timeout is an easy basket, and they got the easiest basket they may get in this finals today.
Birchie to the corner to Worley for three. No, doesn't fall. Lewis with the rebound for the Heat to set the offense. 21. Birchie, mid-range, kiss off the window. Worley with the rebound and a putback.
Good defense by Leroy
no
Williams.
one wants it but Patrell Rogers.
Leroy Williams, great job defensively.
King for three. Haskins all alone with a leaping rebound.
You got to take better shots in transition, I think. When you're playing small ball like the Thunder are, you know, a three in transition with no one down to rebound is not the ideal look as Worley makes them pay.
Worley with a little runner. 79-67, 2:41 left. Titus Gary. Leroy Williams away for the basket, goes to Gary. Gary picks up the foul on Moore.
Corey Moore, that's his fourth.
Jabby and Willis will come in. Corals and Jarvis Williams will come in for the Thunder.
I think Daniel Quarles is a matchup problem for the DC Heat if the Carolina Thunder can exploit it. A long, athletic player who can knock down shots from the perimeter and score on the inside.
Willis, Haskins, Birchie, Worley, along with Felder for the Heat. Titus Gary for three. No. Haskins with the rebound. The 12-point lead, 2:16 left. Quarter number 3 of the ECBL championship from the District of Columbia. Willis for three. With the green light, and you see why, making it 82-67.
That ball keeps moving. The Heat find the open guy. This time, it's Elijah Willis. Now, foul on the floor. This foul is going to go against Quarles, scrambling for the rebound. So just his first foul. Thunder are over the limit, so free throws coming for the DC Heat.
Worley with 12 points. Corey Moore with 13. And Tariq Felder with 23 for the Heat.
James Richardson leading the Thunder with 17. He's not been off the floor very much, if at all, in this game. I think he's played every minute. Sebastian Page knows what we know, and that's James Richardson is another guy who can really cause some problems because of his athleticism.
Birchie makes his 8th point. Searching for 9. You can count it. 84-67.
15-2 run by the DC Heat.
Jarvis Williams searching inside. No one moving. Finds King. King puts it on the floor. Kiss off the window, and the bank's open up in the District of Columbia.
Drove by the Federal Reserve earlier and got my mouth watering.
Stop in there and see if we can get some of that easy pass money.
You know. But that was a basket that the Carolina Thunder needed. Again, it was a 69-65 game in favor of DC. And again, now a 15-4 run, make it 15-5, counting King's three-point play, has really turned this thing around again. Another a tie turn, this time in the favor of the DC Heat.
Haskins turns it over to Jarvis Williams. Williams, left side, Baseline, count it for Richardson.
19 for Richardson. Good transition basket. 5 straight points for the Carolina Thunder.
12-point lead, 84-72. Willis turns it over to Richardson. Richardson with 3 heat right on him, the King. Jarvis Williams, kiss off the window, and Quarles with the putback.
Offensive boards, playing defense. That's a recipe. And now Gary just picks the pocket of Felder.
King for 3. No, Jabby with a rebound. Inside the final minute of the third quarter. Felder driving, and Quarles.
I don't think the foul could have been on Quarles. I think the foul may have been on the, hopefully, let's see who they call it on here. Sebastian Page is being warned. They will give it to Quarles.
Quarles says he got all ball. Felder misses. The first. 84-74. Make it 85. Greek Felder with 23 points.
Heck of a game for Felder, especially in that first half.
Titus Gary driving, kiss off the window, and you can count it for Mr. Gary with 3 points.
9-point lead, and here's a turnover.
Facing that full court press by the Thunder. Gary, can he make it 6? No. Flat-footed rebound for Haskins. He pushes ahead to Willis with 8 on the clock. Haskins to the corner, Birchie for 3, in and out. And that's the end of the third quarter. Going into the Fidelity Investments Money quarter, 9-point lead, 85-76. Entering quarter number 4, we'll return with fourth quarter action from University of District of Columbia.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Quarter number 4 is Titus Gary will let it roll up the court. And the DC Heat are 12 minutes away from their first ECBL championship. Titus Gary hits his first 3. Ian Haskins coming up. Jabby in trouble, splits the defenders. The Felder with numbers. Willis, kiss off the window, and you can count it.
That's the only problem when you press like that. You leave yourself with a numbers disadvantage on the back end, and it was 4-on-1 DC Heat, too easy for them to score on. My goodness, Titus Gary.
Take it over here in the fourth quarter with 5 points. 87-81.
King all alone by himself.
Willis to Jabby. Jabby driving, and we got an offensive foul. And
Great
Jarvis
job.
Williams steps in, picks up the foul.
Perfect position by Jarvis Williams. Took the charge like a champ. And now the Thunder, once again, with a chance to bring this thing within 1 possession.
87-81. Titus Gary for the Thunder with 5 points here in the opening 2 minutes. Make it 7.
Titus Gary III taking over right now.
7 straight points as Corey Moore will check in.
And that foul will go against Willis. That's his second.
Titus Gary with 3 points through the first 3 quarters. 7 here in the opening minute and 13 seconds. Make it 8. No, take it back. Titus Gary is an 81% free throw shooter. Misses the and one as Corey Moore to Felder. Felder looking, baseline, no one moving. Driving on Jarvis Williams. In trouble, it's on the floor. Jarvis Williams with the foul.
The Thunder got it within 4 in the third quarter also. Then the Heat went on a sizable run, a 15-2 run to distance themselves. Can the Thunder this time keep it close? This is the Fidelity Investments Money Quarter. This is it right here. The chip is on the line. Felder, 26.
89-81.
Let's see if they give it to Richardson because Corey Moore is guarding James Richardson, and their turnover stepped on the line. Over and back. And Gary's saying he was pushed by Birchie.
Birchie will come into play to Haskins.
Felder's been the hot guy for the Heat. Will they go to him again?
Felder with 26 points. Haskins driving, and he's fouled by Jarvis Williams. That's the second straight foul by Williams. Makes the first. Got no bucket. They'll erase the points. So it's 90-83. Jarvis Williams driving and loses the ball as he goes up. Titus Gary for 3. No, and Jabby with the rebound. 90-83, 7-point lead. Heat looking to extend it to double digits. Jabby driving on Jarvis Williams. High kiss off the window. Richardson sprints, splits the defender, lays it up, and it's good. 90-85. Jabby for 3 with a green light, and you see why. Jabby electrifies a crowd with a 3, 93-85.
Confident shooter is Khalil Jabby, squared up from the wing, knocked it down in the toilet bowl. James Richardson knew it was going down. He just went on down the court.
He's like, hey, I'll just take it on down the court. 93-87. Jabby will stop. Top of the key, and Titus Gary with the rebound. He's pushed by Jabby. See what the call is.
Thunder are about to get upset. They thought the call was on them. but it was on Jabby for the push. 3 team fouls for the Heat. Third foul for Jabby as well.
Jabby with 3, Moore with 4. That's a backcourt for the Heat.
Let's see if Demetrius Knox will attack Moore, knowing that he's got 4 fouls. Got to give it back to whoever Moore's guarding.
Knox finds Quarles, and Quarles is fouled. He is fouled by Felder.
Felder wondering what he did. But Felder got his hand all on Quarles. That's 4 on Quarles. I mean, 4 on Felder, sorry.
Quarles with a one-handed free throw makes the first. '83-88. Quarles misses. It's Felder with the rebound. Felder to Moore. Moore pushes it in front court to Birchie.
Thunder doing a good job getting back now after they press.
8:20 left. 11 on the shot clock. Birchie driving on Richardson, and it puts up the shot that's blocked. Heat regain possession. Shot clock violation.
Great defense, and that shot blocked by Richardson caused the Heat to scramble, and now Heat Richardson talking to Birchie, trying to get into his head.
Worley checks in as Birchie and Haskins will have a seat. Willis checked back in for the Heat also.
You've got to attack whoever Corey Moore is defending.
Titus Gary splits the defenders, going up, lays it up with the left hand with ease. 3-point game, 93-90. Corey Moore double teamed over to Willis. 7:37 left.
These fans here are sitting on their hands. They're getting nervous. Foul by Titus Gary.
Gary fouled Felder with 20, leads away with 26 points.
It's only the first foul on Titus Gary, and for the Thunder, 3rd foul for them. They're doing all right. Now, if you're the Heat, you have to be careful. Your next foul puts you over the limit.
'93-90. Titus Gary for 3, no. Willis, no. Willis follows his shot and kiss off the window. And the Heat extend the lead to 5.
Knox.
'95-90 Thunder looking to stop the Heat. Straight to the cup, and Miles Lewis headed to the line to shoot 1. A 14-2 run for the Heat. They lead by 7. Carolina Thunder. Demetrius Knox trying to get Felder off his feet. Titus Gary.
Get it to Richardson. Willis wondering what happened, why the foul was on him. That's foul number 3 on Richardson. But more importantly, Petey, for the remainder of the game, for the next 6 minutes, the Thunder are shooting free throws.
Got 5 fouls on the Heat, 4 on the Thunder here in the 4th quarter. 7-point game. Patrell Rogers makes the first. 97-91, 6:15 left. Looked like it on the second one, he just rushed it up. He didn't really try to aim and fire. Moore.
Can't leave points on the board.
Moore driving, picks up the dribble, and picks up the bucket also.
Got Rogers to leave his feet. Nice move by Corey Moore, the MVP. Now up to 15 points.
8-point lead for the Heat. Coming down to the final 5 minutes. Demetrius Knox spinning, trying to get Corey Moore off his feet. Leaves it right on the front of the rim for Lewis. Miles Lewis pulls it over to Felder. Felder to Moore. Moore looking to take Knox, stops, pops for three.
Big bucket by Corey Moore and a confidence builder. 11-point lead now for the home team. Thunder, can they fight back and get close? It's going to be DC Heat's ball after Williams knocks it out of bounds off of Felder.
We got a timeout. 5:10 left. 102-91. The DC Heat lead. And your ECBL championship will return.
Have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
102-91, the DC Heat leads the Carolina Thunder, the defending ECBL champions from 2023. Petey Norris, Craig Green here inside the University of District of Columbia. Lewis driving, picks up the bucket and the foul.
What a great move by Miles Lewis. Slashing to the basket, put it up with the right hand, finishes, draws the foul on Jarvis Williams.
104-91.
So now both teams over the limit, and things, you know, the sands in the hourglass, Petey, are now starting to run dry here for Sebastian Page and the Thunder. It's a 14-point lead after what was just once a 3-point game.
Richardson driving, draws the foul, and that's Corey Moore with the foul.
Five on
fouls.
Corey Moore. And Corey looking at the bench saying, I got 5, I know, I'll chill out, I'll take it easy. These are pressure free throws for James Richardson.
Richardson with 24 points. 105-92. Make it 105-93.
And see the full court press by the Thunder.
Felder throws one down to Lewis, and Lewis just about turns it over.
And they did turn it over. Good defense by the Thunder.
Stepping on the sideline right in front of the bench.
Yeah, you got to play like it's 1 minute to go right now when you're down by 12. This is the championship on the line.
Patrell Rogers to Knox. They'll spin it out. Knox for 3. Bottom of the net.
That one looked good coming off of Knox's hand, and that was a big-time shot. Got to get a stop, though.
Needed defensive stop.
Can't exchange buckets.
Moore almost travels. Going to Worley, and Worley.
Thunder bench incredibly upset over that call. And the referee on the baseline said he didn't have a good view of it, so the call stays where it is.
Worley got lucky on the call. It looked like it bounced off his hip from my vantage point. Moore driving. Couldn't flush it home. Willis with the rebound. Kicks it over to Worley. They'll set up the offense with 3:55 left. Worley for three, in and out. Leroy Williams pulls down a rebound. Knox, left side to Williams. Driving is Knox, trying to draw the foul on Willis, and Lewis with the rebound.
Knox is looking at the official. You need to go back and play defense, my man. Good block by Williams.
Richardson, 3-on-2, stops for 17. Gets a shooter's roll for his 27th point.
Thunder starting to fight back again. The scrappy Carolina Thunder. They will not go away quietly.
3:15 left. Moore splits the two defenders. Driving, puts up the shot, looking for a call. Couldn't get the call. Worley steps in on the baseline, and with 18 on the clock, Felder. Felder will quarterback the play. Felder will drive on Richardson and strip. Felder puts it back up, looking for a foul. No one crashing the boards. Leads as Williams, Jarvis Williams trying to lead it. Leroy Williams to the bucket. And turns it over, Heat's ball.
High pressure situation right now. The championship again is on the line, PD. 7 points separates these teams with 2.5 to go. Thunder are still in it, but you got to get a stop now.
It's interesting to see Titus Gary checking back in the game right now.
One last push, one last surge.
On
As Quarles will take a seat.
It's a turnover by the DC Heat. Couldn't get across the timeline in time. And Patrell Rogers fighting, putting a body down, kiss off the window. And they're down by 5, 105 to 100.
5-point game. Interesting that we don't even see DJ Mason in the game right now. 2 minutes to go.
Moore.
The finals MVP is not on the floor.
Moore in trouble, picks up the dribble. 13 on the shot clock. Lewis calling for the ball in a mismatch with Titus Gary. Lewis drives baseline on Gary. Reverse layup's good. Two Thunder hit the floor as the ball falls through the net for Lewis.
Good job to find a mismatch by the Heat. Under 2 minutes to go. You've got to go now if you're Richardson.
Richardson looking for the back door to Patrell Rogers off of Felder, and Felder with the foul.
Did they call an offensive foul on Sharon King? Yeah, they did. They called a foul on Sharon King. Or on Patrell Rogers, I'm sorry. That's his fourth.
As he pushed from behind on that. So Felder will. Not sure what the call was there, Craig. But Patrell Rogers must have pushed him from behind because Patrell Rogers cutting that baseline. That's what Richardson knew. That's why he threw the ball there. So pushes him. We're on the sideline. That's 108 to 100. Here's Sebastian Page on the sideline, frustrated with the call with 1:44 left, and Felder makes both free throws, extends the lead to 9.
It's getting late early for the Thunder. You've got to go. You've got to score now.
Knox for three, no. And Jarvis, correction, that was Leroy Williams. Back to Richardson. Richardson and a whistle. And Patrell Rogers
again
with the foul.
Holding and pulling.
As he says, he fouled him. He admitted that foul.
That's 5 on Patrell Rogers. So Corey Moore will go to the line for 2. And with 1:31 to go, he could be potentially icing this championship if he can knock down a couple of free throws. He makes the first. And Corey hasn't had his best game today. It's been Tariq Felder early and often for the DC Heat.
Titus Gary to Knox. Leroy Williams driving it, stabbed out by Felder. Felder lays it up as Knox just let him lay it up without being fouled.
That right there may do it. 30 for
Points.
Tariq Felder.
It's 113 to 100. Felder could be your finals MVP, should be, with 30 points. With just 70 ticks on the clock, the DC Heat's not being pressured with the ball. Felder misses the 15-footer to make it 32. Knox. Titus Gary, long three. Leroy Williams, back up for the Thunder. 113 to 102, 49 seconds left, and the Heat call the timeout with 49.3 left. We're going to take it with them. Stay tuned.
Sinclair Broadcast Group Incorporated was founded in 1986 and is one of the largest and most diversified television broadcasting companies in the country. Sinclair owns and operates, programs, and provides sales services to 163 television stations in 77 major markets. That's more television stations than anyone in the U.S. We have affiliations with all the major networks, including Fox, ABC, MyTV, CBS, NBC, Univision, Azteca, and CW. On behalf of Sinclair Broadcasting Group,
Tariq Felder with 30 points. The DC Heat are 49 seconds away from hoisting up the hardware at home. PD Norris, Craig Green here. If you guys are just tuning in, it's been a game DC Heat's led by as many as 18. And the Carolina Thunder tracked it all the way down to single digits to 4 in the third quarter as Titus Gary went on a run himself.
Yeah, got it down to 98-95 and just could not get over the schneid as Corey Moore puts the exclamation point on this championship season for the DC Heat. And that will pretty much do it.
And Tariq Felder is waving, shaking the hands as Corey Moore with a long three. Doesn't fall. 15 seconds left. As
hit the partition up there, so a turnover for the Heat. But again, just want to, for the Carolina Thunder, 8-6 on the regular season, 7-6 regular season, excuse me. Gritty, fought their way back to the championship round. But again, at the end of the day, P, the DC Heat were too much. And they're going to the victor goes to spoils. They're going to be the ones hoisting the trophy. Now it looks like a timeout called. Or stoppage of play. Referee's blowing a whistle.
So they'll just run the clock off as officials say the game was not over. But that's the end of the game. The DC Heat are your 2024 ECBL champions by defeating the Carolina Thunder, the 2023 champions, 115 to 102. We're going to come right back with final stats and a word from the DC Heat's TMOs.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
At Cardinal Family Dentistry, we are honored to serve the community of Apex by providing honest, compassionate dental care. We focus on preventative care and education to make sure all of our patients enjoy optimal dental health, and we offer judgment-free treatment if you're in need of a corrective procedure. Dr. Barker and the rest of the Cardinal Family Dentistry team want to be a resource for you when it comes to your dental health. So we always keep you well informed and offer honest guidance to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. Give them a call today.
Okay, now we would like to give out the championship award to the DC Heat.
And now, your 2024 ECBL champion, the DC Heat!
Test.
Test,
test, test.
Tyreek Felder. MVP. Tyreek Felder. MVP.
Craig, you can't take nothing away from Tyreek Felder with the MVP for today's game. 30 points. Come in, starter for the DC Heat this season, put up a heck of a game.
30 points, 13 rebounds for Tyreek Felder, plus 7 assists, 12 of 15 from the field. He was a monster today, and he was a juggernaut that the Carolina Thunder had no answers for. Again, a valiant effort by Sebastian Page's team, but Tyreek Felder was too much to handle. Early and often in the first half, beating 23 points in the first half. Finishes the game sitting on 30. A wonderful game for him. And what a time for it to happen right here in the championship final.
You can't take it away from Sebastian Page and his Carolina Thunder traveling up here 7 hours from Lana, South Carolina, up here to DC Heat. To face the DC Heat, who have only lost one game in the Florida season.
And, the blueprint to beat the DC Heat, I thought, was the Winston-Salem game. Carolina tried it. They just weren't able to execute the game plan as they wanted to. And that's why you see the DC Heat starting the season at the top of the power rankings, finishing the season as ECBL champions, rightful champions, deserving champions. And congratulations to Pierre Noel and Coach McLaughlin. Put up heavy numbers all season long. The top scoring team in the league coming here today, finishing the job on their home floor, and again, a deserving victory for the new ECBL champions.
Go with the final box scores, the unofficial box scores for today's game.
For the Carolina Thunder, they were led in scoring today by James Richardson, 12 of 25 from the field. He had 27 points, 9 rebounds, 5 block shots for James Richardson, an MVP performance by the Carolina Thunder's number 5, for certain. He was one of 6 players in double figures, PD. 14 points apiece for Demetrius Knox and also Sharon King. 16 points for Leroy Williams. 12 points for Titus Gary III, who had a big fourth quarter. Then 10 points also for Patrell Rogers.
If you take a look at the DC Heat, shooting 47% from the field, 34% from beyond the arc, and 81% from the church.
They executed very well today. You know, they scored underneath their season average, but again, they played fantastic basketball. You saw Carolina fight their way back into the game more than once. And what you saw DC do was put together strings of points, 8 points here, 7 points there, and keep pushing that lead back to double digits. They never let Carolina get any closer than 3. Remember, they led after the first quarter by 16. Carolina had a surge in the second and third quarter, but it wasn't enough to overcome the DC Heat, again, the rightful ECBL champions. And for Sebastian Page and his team, a long ride back to LATA, but hey, you didn't really lose today. You learned, and you finished second to the best team in ECBL, a team that we haven't seen in this league in quite some time.
Yeah, just like you said, they finished under their season average, but this was a game they haven't seen, a team they haven't seen this season. The Carolina Thunder to put up 115. A lot had to do with the way the crowd was here.
The crowd played a big factor. I mean, again, we talked with Chris Thomas, the president of East Coast Basketball League, at halftime, and Chris said it too. He said, you got about 150, 200 people here that the Carolina Thunder are going to have to contend with. I mean, they had their own contingent from South Carolina that traveled up, but I mean, the Heat fans got the message on social media and out there in the streets that this game matters, that this is a championship game, and you need to be here for it. And the community responded, PD. You saw the celebration here on the court. The DC Heat have put their stamp here on the district.
That's correct. I mean, it pretty much sums up a 13-1, a season. Only one, you got, 12-2. They lose one game on the court. They lost one game by, and
an eligible player, yeah.
An eligible player against the Seven Cities Vets. But, that in that game against Seven Cities, they won by 40.
And for them to lose it on a technicality is kind of a shame. But, I think it's something that also can be a spark for this team, again, because, they went on a tear, a hellacious run throughout East Coast Basketball League. Really one loss on the court at Forsyth Tech to the Winston-Salem Wolves and Daquan Cousins. But, and I thought, we talked multiple times before we got here about what we thought the Carolina Thunder could do to win this game, and they tried it. They definitely tried it. They were getting the offensive boards, they were getting the key players for the Heat in foul trouble, but it was too much, too often, and Tariq Felder again showed up today and played probably one of the best games I've seen him play all season long. Again, 30 points and 13 rebounds for Tariq Felder, and deservedly, 30 points and 13 rebounds. Sorry, with 6 assists, deservedly the MVP of this contest.
With 40 minutes of play, he's the only DC Heat player to play 40 minutes. As in the first, Worley played 38, and Corey Moore played 38 himself. Corey Moore, 22 points between Worley. 5 of the DC Heat players in double digits.
I mean, Corey Moore's numbers, you look at the numbers and it's pretty impressive. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, but it was a very quiet game for Corey Moore. He really couldn't find his groove, and they really leaned, he really deferred to Tariq Felder this game. He did a good job as, just being, as supporting cast for Tariq Felder. Again, Moore was in foul trouble here. I mean, remember, we were looking at a 5-point game, and we're talking about who's going to attack Corey Moore to get him out of the game, because I thought if they could foul him out, Carolina Thunder would possibly be hoisting the trophy today. But the DC Heat made another run in this fourth quarter, and that kind of kept the Thunder that kept the Thunder away from the trophy for the second year in a row. And, again, your winners and new champions, the DC Heat.
All right, Craig, as we close another season, our first season in the ECBL, we look forward to coming back next year. I want to thank all the coaches, all the players, everyone affiliated with the ECBL. We really appreciate all your help this year. You know, through the technical difficulties that we've ran throughout the season, you know, it's technology.
Sure is. Things happen. You know, wires break, internet works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You know, wires happen, antennas fall. I mean, you know, we've seen all kinds of things, you know, not only through East Coast Basketball League, but all of our travels up and down the East Coast from Petersburg, Virginia to Washington, D.C., all the way down to North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina to Augusta, Georgia. You know, we've seen a lot of things, and today we saw a great championship game, and nowhere else I'd rather be right here but sitting here calling it for all you folks at home and sitting right here next to you.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. We got an all-star game, like Chris said, on July 13th from Charlotte, and possibly that game can be 200 to 200.
It very well could, and I still am lobbying for a coaches or owners three-point contest. I think that would be really interesting, and I don't know who my dark horse would be in that one. I mean, you know, I might have to give the early edge. You know, if we're talking about jump shooting here, you know, maybe Will McLaughlin, you know, maybe Sebastian Page, who knows?
I think I got Kyle Dixon or China.
Oh, yeah, China Bethea, yeah, very good call. China Bethea, definitely athletic.
Fanville Panthers. I mean, I feel like she can. I feel like she can break some of these ankles out here.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would love to see. Oh yeah, Kyle Dixon against China Bethea in the finals of the coaches three-point contest.
I want to see the coaches game, coaches versus coaches.
Okay, yeah. Can we play in the game?
Exactly. No, I just hold a water bottle.
Hey, I just pass and shoot. That's all I do.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of High Level Media and the East Coast Basketball League, a special thanks to you, the fans, coaches, and players, along with the officials, for making the 2024 ECBL Championship a memorable game. The final score from the University of District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. The number one seed, the D.C. Heat, 115, and the Carolina Thunder, 102. Always remember, talent might make you good, but it's your attitude and work ethic that will make you great. Good night and God bless from the Capitol.
This copyright telecast may not be reproduced, transmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent